What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Trey back again on the video. Today I'm going to talk about this Max Kellerman and Stephen A situation. And also, I just want y'all opinions on this angle. Should I keep this angle? Because I am experimenting on different angles of what I should put my camera at. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about this Stephen A Max situation. So yeah, if you don't know the backstory, let's go ahead and get into the backstory. So Stephen A. and Skip Bayless, they had a long run on First Take, but Skip Bayless ultimately wanted to go to Fox Sports, get paid more, be his own man, and go to Undisputed and start Shannon Sharp. So that's what he did. So First Take was looking for somebody, and guess who they stumbled upon? Max Kellerman. And Max Kellerman, he was with Sports Nation with Marcellus Wiley and can't think of the moderator name, but Michelle Beer, that's her name. But yeah, he was on the show for a couple of years. He also was doing like L.A. radio before that. So First Take got him, and they was there for 5 years. And then, in my opinion, I thought they had a long run together, a long great run together, and I didn't see no problems with them. Then all of a sudden, we get a report that he's leaving First Take. Like that came out of left field, and then the detail that came after it, that's where I got infuriated. That's where I got that was the most wild stuff I've seen from like a man in his position in a long time. Since Skip Bayless got Jalen Rose kicked off the show. And it's no coincidence that Stephen A was in like attendance for that, right? So I'm just putting it out there. That's why folks be calling him the black Skip Bayless. He do the same things. Once he don't feel like he's happy or something, he just go get real but go behind his back. Then try to use his power um against the person he trying to get rid of. So yeah, uh, and the fact that he gave like weak explanations throughout the years, because at first when the details came out, Stephen A. did confirm that he did go behind Max Kellerman back. He told the bosses that he want him gone, and then he said the explanation to feel like, oh, the show was getting stale. Well, Stephen A., I mean, you had this show for like a decade plus now, right? That is common for shows to just plateau and go and stagnate. That's what happens for uh, long range shows like that, bro. I'm just being honest. I that was a weak explanation to me, and then today he's going viral again for trying to explain this this situation, and it's like it's getting worse and worse by the day, bro. The explanation he gave was, oh well, he like he said the show was stagnating. He felt like it needed change, and then he said he wasn't a journalist or he wasn't an athlete, so why should we listen to you, my man? We shouldn't even listen to you. We shouldn't, because what have you broken down in your career on First Take that lead us to believe that you so much credible than Max? Have you broken down pick and roll? Have you broken down pick and roll coverage? Have you broken down defensive coverage? Huh? Like you are so limited in what you can do. You're just basically mostly entertainment now, bro. Nobody looks to you for anything about actual informative takes. They look at you for being entertainment, screaming all over the place, and getting to it before. Like nobody really sees you as a freaking on-air personality that's informative. If anything, that's what Max Kellerman was. When Max Kellerman was giving his informative takes, the other thing you can say, he's 6'11" and he can pull up from 40. That's all you can do. You mostly entertainment. Nobody looks to you for anything that's serious about basketball or football. Like, we just being honest. Then, um, and then the stuff he been saying about athletes too, I don't like. Some of the stuff I don't like. The Kyrie stuff, I can understand to a degree, but dog, It got overboard at times. I understand he did the stuff. We don't even have to get into it, but we understand what he did. But this other athlete I'm about to name, he has done nothing. And there's AD. He literally averaged 26 points and averaged the most rebounds in the league. And he could qualify for being the rebound leader, but he didn't play enough games. And he got a fluke injury mid-season off a play that he was going with a layup against Jokic. And how was that his fault? How was that his fault? And he had an all-time great playoff run, and the fact that you trying to make it out to be that he's going along with the ride, that's where I have a big problem. That's where your takes is garbage. It's garbage. The fact that you said, oh, LeBron could be off the Mount Rushmore if he loses to Steph Curry. Like, what type of garbage take is that? That is not informative whatsoever. What did you even provide to that conversation? Honestly. Honestly, the only thing you can do is legacy talks, Mount Rushmore talks. If he don't step up, I'm going to have a big problem and all of this. And making all types of crazy assumptions for no reason, without any great logic. And I don't know. It's so frustrating me. Then him doing this weak stuff with Max Kellerman. Like, first off, I don't think like the general public do not respect you. Yes, the athlete you probably covered back in the day and like stuff like that. And what you trying to do is say it. So okay, that's understandable. But the fact that you went behind your partner for 5 years back, did not communicate with him whatsoever during this process. You threw a temper tantrum and said you want to be off the show if they didn't get rid of him. Like, why? And then you would say, technically, I didn't fire him. It was the bosses. Brother, you fired him, bro. You fired him. Be a man and say that you fired him. Because they wouldn't have got rid of Max because even the bosses said the ratings and stuff like that, or Stephen A was talking about, it was just fine. It was just fun. And then if you go to YouTube channel, it was just, you can look at the ratings. The ratings didn't look like it was plateau, like, it was just like, oh, declining at all. Like, he felt like the show wasn't progressing. Bro, you still number one. Like, your status is number one, wasn't getting threatened. If you feel like you was getting threatened that much, you need to reevaluate what you was doing wrong instead of just getting rid of folks for no reason. Like that was messed up, dog. That was messed up, and I to this day, I still have a problem with it. I could address this like when it came out, but guess what? I didn't have a YouTube channel. There was a lot going on, and I didn't feel like starting a YouTube channel at the time. But guess what? I'm doing it now, and I'm happy to do it now because this stuff should not go unnoticed. It shouldn't. It shouldn't. Because Max Kellerman, even though his take was out of bounds, he explained in great detail that you could probably side with him a little bit, but you ultimately have to, like, you can't agree with him because it's too outlandish. Then he had his own boxing show, Boxing with Max or something like that, and he gave great detail in that show. He went into fighters' tendencies, what to expect in a fight, all that. Steven has never done that. The only thing he could take, back in the day when he used to cover stuff, he'd give his opinion on stuff, and it was basically like right on track of what the player was thinking. But breaking down a play, a horns action, split action, why the Warriors are so successful on that, none, like, he cannot do that whatsoever. He can't do it. And when Max Kellerman tried to go in great detail, he actually tried to have intellectual conversations, Stephen A stayed away from it, and that's why he did the stuff he did. Max Kellerman was even more pro-black than Stephen A. And he actually sympathized with black athletes more than Stephen A. And you think Stephen A had, he was all good and dandy with that? And then especially with Terrell Owens and what he said about him, I'm just saying, you think he didn't have a problem with that? Like, the writing was on the wall then. But the fact that you said you had this big problem with him, and you've been knowing this man for multiple years, and you couldn't even like talk to him. You act like you was the boss and you was just making or the owner of the show or something, and that you couldn't like converse with him at all. Y'all was on the same. Well, like of course you was hired, but y'all was like the same person, the same on-air personality. Y'all had the same job. But you can communicate with him and say how you feel, and then let Max Kellerman decide whether he wanted to stay or go. But no, you gonna take it in your own hand because you say you want to go. Like, what if you did want to go? Where was you gonna go? FanDuel? You was gonna go with Fox Sports with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp? Where was you gonna go? Sorry about that. Got a phone call. But yeah, where was you gonna go? Huh? Like, dog. Like, bro, you just gonna do your late night talk show stuff again? Even though that failed already? Like, what was you gonna do? Like, dog, nobody wants to hear you honestly talk about basketball or football. Honestly. Your take suck. It don't have no explanation to it, but legacy talks. That's it. So yeah, those are my thoughts on this matter. It like I feel bad for Max Kellerman because as of right now, he don't have a job with ESPN because this Get Up show really wasn't doing ratings like that, and nobody really was expecting it to do ratings because Max Kellerman is at his best when he's around folks that he can converse with and actually have great dialogue with. And that's why I thought him and Stephen A was so good together, but I feel like Stephen A was just so snakish that he did the stuff he did. So I feel bad for Max Kellerman. Hopefully we can land on his feet somewhere. And yeah, those are my thoughts. If you guys like this video, like, comment, subscribe. This is your boy Trail. I'm out.